Hey everybody, this is Angela from Texas and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is a show that's going to give you 5 sports picks for people who love sports and friendly wagering. Today we are joined by our special guest, Big Zay. Thanks for being with us, Big Zay.
Thank y'all for having me.
All right. Well, I cannot believe it, but it is NCAA Championship Week. Selection Sunday is this coming Sunday, March 12th. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how we quickly transitioned from football, and now we're into, NBA and college. And, of course, when March comes, it's, all eyes are on March Madness, and it's going to be a fun 3 weeks of some crazy basketball. I think we've had a few crazy games today already.
I know, I'm excited. So I always look forward to March Madness, even though I'm a football kind of chick. I do love March Madness. So
there you go.
Well, let's get started. Oh, by the way, did y'all like my opening song?
The opening song, for some reason I could barely hear it, but I'm sure it's a good intro.
Well, hopefully it comes out on the podcast, but we'll see.
We'll see.
No, it sounds good. It sounds pretty good.
All right.
Change up.
Sounds good. Well, my picks are going to be for Thursday games. My first pick is going to be Penn State plus 2.5 versus Illinois. Penn State is on the bubble right now to make the NCAA tournament. They have to probably win 2 games in this tournament to make it to the big dance. They're already 2-0 against Illinois this year. They're one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the Big Ten. They could have been better ranked if it wasn't for late blown leads. Do y'all have any comments on this game? How about you, El Gato? Let's start with you.
Yeah, I have just a few comments on it. Yeah, you're right. Penn State really swept the season series over Illinois by some pretty good scoring, 93-81 at home, and then they went to Illinois and they throttled them there 74-59. They both have about the same records conference. Illinois has them by 1 game. Illinois is 3-3 the last 6 games. Penn State, however, is riding a good winning streak, or a good streak in the last 6. They've won 5 of 6. And you're right, they need to win at least 1. Certainly 2 to get into the tournament safely, but Penn State at plus 2. I know it's difficult beating a single team 3 times in 1 year, but the way they're playing right now with the urgency that they need to win to get into the tournament at plus 2.5, I'll take that. I'll take Penn State at plus 2.5.
Yeah, I can't believe that they are the underdog in this game, but that's what it is. Any comments on this game, Big Zay?
Yeah, I like Illinois in this game. I really like Illinois. I think they might be they're kind of one of them sneaky teams whenever you get into March. For some reason, they always seem to either bust a bracket or something like that. They're coming off a pretty decent, if you would say, loss. Purdue is one of the top teams in the nation, so, I mean, no loss is good, but heck, if you're going to take a loss, Purdue's not a bad team to do it against.
That's a good point. Good point.
Illinois, they, like I said, they have a pretty good squad. I also like Matthew Meyer on the team. He's actually he's played for Baylor, so he kind of holds a little special place in my heart, even though he transferred away. But it's all good. Yeah. So in this one, I'm actually going to go the other way. I like Illinois in this one.
All right.
To cover the spread.
Okay, sounds good. My second pick is going to be the New York Knicks. They're at Sacramento. I am going on a bet with the money line. I'm taking the Knicks on the money line. They're going to be a slight underdog in this game, probably about plus 130 on the money line. They had their 9-game winning streak snap last night, which was not good. But they have been playing some of the best basketball in the NBA. They're very sound defensively and have been hitting clutch 3-pointers. This will be the start of a road trip, but they are 6-2 in their last road games. Go New York Knicks. You have any thoughts on this game, Big Zay?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one. I like the Knicks. Unfortunately for this matchup, I believe the 2 point guards are going to be out, which is De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Brunson. Two great point guards are going to be out. But, I think for me, the thing that puts it for me for the Knicks is Julius Randle. Julius Randle, he's playing like an all-star. I mean, he's playing great. And, yeah, the Knicks are rolling up until last night, of course, like you said. But, yeah, I like this pick.
All right. Sounds good. And I think you are right about Jalen Brunson being out. But Emmanuel Quickly, he's been playing really good too. He's been coming out playing some good basketball for the Knicks. Do you have any thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the other side of that money line, only because the Knicks. They have won 9 of 10. Randall's been a beast during that stretch. He's been leading the team in points and in rebounds. So he's playing both sides. Of the ball. The Sacramento Kings, of course, they have one of their shooting guards, Fox, just lighting it up. Sabonis at power forward, cleaning up the glass, getting the crucial rebounds to, ice some games down. With the Knicks having to travel, across the country on this one after, making a good 10-game run, 9 of 10, I think they may falter just a little bit. I'll take the Kings on the other side of that bet, on the money line bet.
All right, sounds good. Well, do you have a third pick for us, Big Zay?
Yes, I do. It has to do with tomorrow's game, the Big 12 tournament opener, Baylor versus Iowa State. On my end, it's showing that Baylor is a 4.5 favorite when it comes to the spread, and I got them covering the spread. I just think that Baylor turns it up in the postseason play. I understand that the last game Baylor has played was against Iowa State on this past Saturday, actually, and they actually kind of got blown out. But I just I don't see Baylor losing to them for the second game in a row. Iowa State has beaten them twice. I don't see Iowa State winning doing a complete sweep of winning 3 games against them. As you stated earlier, it is hard to beat same team 3 times in one season. Yeah, so I got Coach Drew getting his boys ready on Saturday to bounce back. Keontae George and Flagler, they're going to lead the way. And, yeah, give me Baylor.
All right.
Is that Baylor plus 4.5 or minus 4.5, Big Zay?
I got it minus 4.5.
Yeah.
Minus 4.5. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I got you.
All right. What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Big Zay on this one. Iowa State did sweep Baylor this year by some pretty good scores. Baylor, however, ranked 9 or 10 in the country. They're playing, I think they'll play some pretty good, solid basketball with some urgency during the tournament because they want to get a good seeding. But they're playing for a national seed, not only for the Big 12 tournament, but they need to impress and win 1 or 2 games. Certainly win at least this one, get by Iowa State, and then we'll see what happens in the next game. So at minus 4.5, I think that's a solid spread for them to overcome being swept 2 games this year, and most recently just a few days ago over the weekend. I think they'll show up and play some solid basketball and win this by 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm going to go with y'all on this one as well. Baylor minus 4.5. Baylor has 2 regular season losses to Iowa State, but not this game. Baylor will come off with a win and a cover. I think Baylor is a better transition team than Iowa State. Their offense needs to get off to a quick start.
I agree.
All right. Do you have a 4th and 5th pick for us, El Gato?
I actually do, and we're going to go back to that Baylor game. I'm going to take Baylor, Iowa State on the under, and only because this is my reason on this one. This will be the 3rd game they're going to play against each other. They're going to know each other pretty good, both how they scheme, both offensively and defensively. So I'm looking for a tight game. They're going to go up and down the court like a lot of the Big 12 teams do, but I think offensively they'll be a little bit more conservative. And that's why I'm going to pick the under at 134.5. Both teams averaged against each other for the last two games that they played. They averaged 135 combined. So at 134.5, I'm going to go ahead and take the under, considering it's tournament play. They play a little more tighter, I think, and so I'll go with the under on this one.
All right. Do you have any comments on this game, Big Zay?
I'll have to agree with you on that one, Elgato. This game is being played at a neutral site. Of course, it's the Big 12 tournament at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Whenever you get on a different court that both teams don't really know, who knows, what they may see behind the backboard, or it's just a different environment. So, the scoring, it always shoots down a little bit. So, yeah, and I agree with you 100%. But both these teams have great coaches, and they're gonna scheme up great against either or. They know each other a hell of a lot better right now going into this third game. So yeah, I agree. I like the under.
All right. Well, I actually like the over in this game because of Baylor's 2 losses. They will want the offense to generate early baskets. Iowa State's offense will try to keep it close, but will fatigue late in the game. This game goes over 134.5. What about a 5th pick for us, Elgato?
A 5th pick, I'm going to go back to the Big 12. I'm going to go with the TCU K-State. I'm going to go the under 147.5. Both teams can score points. But both teams can also clamp down on the defensive end when they want to play defense, and I think this will be one of the nights tomorrow night when they face each other. I think both teams will play some good, solid defense. Both teams averaged in the 2 games they played this year against each other combined 143 in total points in the 2 games they played. So at 147, that's a 4.5 point premium that they're adding to their average scoring this year. So I'll go ahead and take the under, considering tournament play, as Big Zay emphasized to his point, a neutral site. So, in that regards, I think they'll be more conservative and go with the under on this one.
All right. Do you have any comments on this pick, Big Zay?
Again, like I said earlier, I just think with the neutral side that a lot of these games are going to be in favor of the under, at least the first round. Neutral side, I mean, you got two great teams going at it right now. Yeah, so I like the under on this one as well.
All right. Well, I like the under also on this one. TCU center Lampkin Jr. is questionable. Although he won't be there to protect the basket, the other players will step up. TCU's defense will keep the Wildcats' scoring ability below average. So I do like the under. I'm going with both of y'all on this pick.
I like that. All right.
Right. All right, Big Zay, do you have a bonus bet for us?
For my bonus bet, I have the OKC Thunder at plus 13.5 against the Suns tonight. Last time these teams met, it was a close game with a score of 124 to 115. The Thunder did play that game without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if I'm saying his name right. I call him SGA for short. I hope y'all do too, but if not, don't hate me for saying it wrong. SGA, he's also coming off a 33-point night versus the Warriors. I just think that with the momentum that they're riding, Thunder are riding a 3-game winning streak right now. I think with that momentum, they go, and get at least go against the spread tonight versus the Suns. Even though I do think the Suns are a dangerous team ever since they got Durant, and I think now that Durant's fully into the offense, he's kind of gelling in, getting his feet a little bit more comfortable with them. So, but no, nonetheless, I still got the OKC Thunder against the spread tonight.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on that game, Elgato?
Yeah, I mean, 13.5 points. God, that's a lot of points in an NBA game. I mean, usually teams that lose by that much, they've got some injured players. They've got players that are sitting the bench because they've gone back-to-back on back-to-back nights, and they're sitting some starters. But the Suns will be playing their first game at home with Durant in the lineup. He's got 2 games under his belt where he's averaged nearly 30 points each game, I believe. And but 13.5 is quite a bit. I'm going to go with Big Zay on this one. Even though I think the Suns will win the game, I'll take OKC at plus 13.5. I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you guys on this pick as well. I think 13.5 is a lot of points, although I am a big Phoenix Suns fan now that they have Durant. I've always been a Devin Booker fan, so Durant's just a cherry on the top for me. So
yeah, I agree.
But I will go with this pick, OKC plus 13.5.
All right.
Well, I do have a bonus bet in honor of International Women's Day. I am picking the UNLV Running Rebels, the women's team. They are minus 6.5 against Wyoming. That game is tonight, so get your bet in. I think the Running Rebels are a well-rounded team on offense and defense. They can hit their three-pointers. So I'm going with UNLV's Running Rebels, the women's team, minus 6.5.
All right.
All right. Any final comments, Elgato?
I don't. It's just nice getting back, back in the swing of things in our podcast after a nice inaugural football season. Now we're heading to basketball. Soon enough, we'll start digging into some baseball and enjoy these next two major sports coming up, the NBA and MLB. And then before you know it, it'll be football time.
I know. I'm already counting down the days. Any final comments, Big Zay?
Man, March Madness is here, baby. It's here. It's here. I'm ready for it.
I know. I'm
ready
so
for
excited.
the brackets. I'm ready for everything it has. I'm ready for the upsets, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, I just want to say thank you guys for having me and bringing me back. It's always a good time, to be on the podcast with you guys. So I just appreciate that.
We appreciate you being with us. I do want to give one shout out. This is going to be to the Longhorns interim head coach, Rodney Terry. He was named Sporting News' National Coach of the Year. And I just want to say that because they went through some adversity this season and he was able to keep his team focused in the game and look at where they're at now. So I just want to kind of give that shout out to Coach Rodney Terry.
That's a good shout out to RT. You're right.
All right.
Well deserved.
Yep, well deserved. I agree. Well, thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel as well as the like button. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Thank you to Big Zay for joining us today, Big Zay.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
All right. Make sure to join us next week. Our guest picker will be Rudy. As always, thank you to Elgato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3, break.
All right.